So welcome to the latest edition of the video blog. You'll have noticed it's been a few weeks since we shared one of these. The reason for that was because we've been focusing over the last few weeks on returning to a sense of normality wherever possible across the services since the peak of COVID seems to have passed. Hopefully I can share some interesting and useful updates on news from across the organisation that will reinforce some of the messages that we're sending out via the e-bulletin and the weekly updates. So firstly, I wanted to share an update on the work we're doing to redesign the clinical hub and services that are associated with the clinical hub. So many staff have kindly completed a staff survey which was aiming to capture your experiences and views on working differently and working remotely over the last 3 to 4 months. The aim is to try to explore how we can redesign our model of delivery of the clinical hub, hopefully working slightly differently in the future, taking into account the learning that we've got from the last few weeks and months, our experience of utilising some new technology, and also taking into account what staff prefer and how you prefer to work. So there are some principles that we're adopting as part of this piece of work. And firstly is we want to be as ambitious as we possibly can. We don't want to look back at the end of this process and feel as though we've not tried to be as transformational as we possibly can. We also are determined that we don't want to go back to how the clinical hub and its attached services worked in the past. So we want it to feel and look and deliver services differently. Despite that, we do want to maintain the highest possible levels of quality and patient safety that we can, and also ensure we've got a model which can deliver all the performance indicators that we're expected to deliver from our commissioners. So there's a weekly project group which is reviewing the feedback we've had from staff. It's plotting a course for the work over the next few weeks and months, and I'll update on key pieces of progress through the video blog, and we'll also share updates through the e-bulletin and the weekly updates. So secondly, I'd just like to reiterate a couple of messages that I know have been shared through this video blog previously, and also more recently in the e-bulletins that we've been sending out via communications. So firstly, you should be aware that we've introduced Ulysses, which is our new online complaint reporting, complaint management, incident reporting system. I'd urge every member of staff to log on to Ulysses and create an account for yourself. So there's a link in the recent e-bulletin that came out earlier this week. This allows you to not only log incidents and complaints and compliments electronically, but also thinking about our aim to continue to work more remotely across the workforce. It also allows staff to log into Ulysses and our system remotely. So if you haven't already done so, please create an account for yourself, follow the link on the e-bulletin. And secondly, we've shared previously the importance and the value of using Microsoft Teams. So those people who are using Teams to communicate with colleagues, to share information, to manage real-time problems operationally, and use them for meetings, have found it a really, really valuable tool. So again, if you haven't used Teams, please do so, and I'm sure you'll see the benefits like the rest of us. So next, I just wanted to update you on our innovation fund for this year. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be launching the 2020 Innovation Fund. It's running a little bit later than usual for obvious reasons, but I think it's absolutely vital this year in particular that we run the campaign. So application forms and documentation and explanatory guidance notes around how to fill in the form and some ideas and some of the criteria will be issued via Anna Fox, as I say, over the next couple of weeks. I'm absolutely certain that there are dozens of really, really worthy ideas for use of the Innovation Fund this year, whether it be supporting staff, your colleagues, whether it be supporting community initiatives, and particularly given some of the economic hardships that lots of communities have faced as a consequence of COVID, or whether it's just supporting some quality innovations that you have identified but has not been able to implement due to COVID over the last few months. So please keep an eye out. The applications will stay open for around a month. We'll be looking to hopefully shortlist and select and then introduce some of these initiatives from October onwards. So I wanted also to share an update on work that's been going on in Oldham locality for a number of weeks now. So Oldham CCG introduced what was a COVID hub at the beginning of the pandemic, which we were involved in delivering alongside IGP Care, which is the GP Federation in Oldham. From the beginning of July, responsibilities shifted to us entirely to deliver that service, and the scope of that service has moved on from being just a COVID hub to also being a broader digital and assessment hub for a wider range of patients that might need to access advice over the phone or by video link or face-to-face. They need to see a clinician directly. So it's part of our broader piece of work to explore how we can deliver our clinical hub services in a slightly different way to support locality commissioning intentions, so that patients that are routed to us via 111, who are Oldham patients that require that clinical assessment, whilst that digital hub is operational, should be directed to that digital hub, and advice and guidance has been given to staff working here at Denton to enable that to happen. So we're hopeful over the next few months. There's been some testing, there's going to be some testing of proof of concept for that service, with a view that that service is commissioned on a longer term basis, and we hope to be able to deliver that or be part of delivering that for the longer term. And finally, for this bulletin, obviously wider social distancing measures are being relaxed across the country, with the 2 metre rule reducing to 1 metre plus in England, with bars and restaurants and other public places opening up from Saturday onwards, albeit in a slightly different way than previously. So I just wanted to use this video blog as an opportunity to remind people about the importance of still maintaining safe social distance, particularly when you come to work, without wanting to coin a phrase from the Prime Minister, but we're not out of the woods yet when it comes to COVID, and the science hasn't changed. So we're still maintaining 2 metre distance in head office at Denton, and also are taking all the same measures to make sure that patients are screened if they're either hot or cold in relation to COVID, and also are reissuing and updating guidance for patients attending our GP practices and treatment centres to ensure that they and staff are as protected as possible. So please do pay attention to the social distancing rules that we're putting in place, which includes using the allocated seats at Denton that you're given on each shift, following the routes through the building that are marked out, and ensuring that you're utilising the desks that are set up alternately to ensure there's sufficient space between people working here at head office. So that's it from this blog. Please do continue to stay safe, look after each other, look after your families, and tune in again next time.